10 most powerful wildcats that ever existed. Like all prehistoric counterparts of today's animals, the prehistoric cats were usually larger, heavier, and more robust than today's felines. 10. Giant jaguar. In prehistoric times, however, both North and South America were home to gigantic jaguars, belonging to the same species as modern-day jags, but much bigger. These giant jaguars also had longer limbs and tails than jaguars living today. Scientists believe that jaguars used to be open plain denizens, but that competition with American lions and other big cats forced them to adapt to more forested environments, where they developed their modern short-legged appearance. Giant prehistoric jaguars were about the size of a fully grown lion or tiger, and were probably several times stronger, with a much stronger bite. Giant jaguars were active during the Pleistocene period, but went extinct about 11,000 years ago, during the last ice age. 9. African lion. Throughout history, the African lion has represented courage and strength. The cat is easily recognized both by its roar and the male's mane. Lions, which live in groups called prides, are the most social cats. They typically weigh between 330 to 550 pounds, 150 to 250 kilograms, with males reaching the higher end of that range. Both males and females are powerful, muscular cats with rounded heads and ears. 8. Xenus milis. Xenus milis is a relative to Smilodon, but instead of having long blade-like fangs, it had shorter and thicker teeth. All of its teeth had serrated edges to cut through flesh, and were more like the teeth of a shark or a carnivorous dinosaur than the teeth of modern-day cats. Xenus milis didn't strangle its prey as modern-day cats do. It only had to bite off a huge chunk of flesh from its victim and wait until it bled to death. A Xenus milis kill was much bloodier and messier than that of any big cat today. Xenus milis was a very big cat for today's standards. At 397 to 507 pounds, 180 to 230 kilograms, it was as big as most adult male lions and tigers, and was much more robust, with shorter, stronger limbs and a very powerful neck. 7. Siberian tiger. The Siberian tiger, or Amur tiger, is the largest subspecies and the largest cat in the world. Adult male Siberian tigers can weigh up to 700 pounds, 320 kilograms. Most Siberian tigers live in eastern Russia and northern China. Their population lives primarily in the Sokoty-Alin mountain range. The Siberian tiger developed some physical adaptations to endure the cold climate of its habitat, like a thick layer of fat and very dense fur, paler and with fewer dark stripes compared to other tigers. They are one of the strongest predators in our days. 6. Cave lion. The cave lion was a gigantic subspecies of lion, weighing up to 661 pounds, 300 kilograms or more, and therefore, being as large as the Amur or Siberian tiger, the largest cat of our days. It was one of the most dangerous and powerful predators during the last ice age in Europe, and there is evidence that it was feared and perhaps worshipped by prehistoric humans. Plenty of cave paintings and a few statuettes have been found depicting the cave lion. Interestingly, these show the animal as having no mane, barely a ruff around the neck sometimes, as in modern-day tigers. Confusingly, some cave paintings also show the cave lion as having faint stripes on its legs and tail. 5. Homotherium. Also known as the scimitar cat, Homotherium was one of the most successful felines in prehistoric times, being found in North and South America, Europe, Asia, and Africa. It adapted well to a variety of habitats, including the subarctic tundra, and survived for 5 million years until its extinction 10,000 years ago. Homotherium was seemingly a pack hunter, adapted to fast running and active mostly during the day. It had very long forelegs and shorter hind legs, which gave it a slightly hyena-like appearance. Although Homotherium is not very famous for its size, some fossil remains of a scimitar cat unearthed recently in the North Sea suggest that they could reach 882 pounds, 400 kilograms in weight, being larger than modern-day Siberian tigers. If you are wondering what these enormous pack-hunting cats ate, some paleontologists believe that they were quite skilled mammoth hunters, although their ability to run at high speed would allow them to chase after fleet-footed animals as well. 4. Machaerodus kabir. Machaerodus is seldom mentioned as a giant feline, but some fossil remains found in Chad, Africa, and classified as a new species, Machaerodus kabir, suggest that this creature was among the largest cats of all times, weighing up to 1,080 pounds, 490 kilograms, and being the size of a horse. It fed on elephants, rhinos, and other large herbivores which were abundant at the time. Machaerodus kabir probably looked somewhat like the gigantic saber-toothed tiger in the film 10,000 BC, although sadly it went extinct during the Miocene period, long before the appearance of humans. 3. American lion. Often called the largest cat of all times, the American lion, or Panthera atrox, is probably the best known of all prehistoric cats after Smilodon. It lived in both North and South America during the Pleistocene epoch, and went extinct 11,000 years ago at the end of the last ice age. Most scientists believe that the American lion was a gigantic relative to modern lions, perhaps even belonging to the same species. One thing is certain, the American lion was the largest cat in North America during the Ice Age, weighing up to 1,036 pounds, 470 kilograms, perhaps even 1,102 pounds, 500 kilograms, and being able to take on very large prey. There is still some debate about its hunting technique, for although modern-day lions hunt in groups, American lion remains are scarce, suggesting that these cats were probably solitary hunters. 2. Nangdong tiger. The Nangdong tiger, Panthera tigris soloensis, is an extinct subspecies of tiger which lived in what is now the Sundaland region of Indonesia in the Pleistocene epoch. Peltier and Vollmer estimated that a large male could potentially weigh up to 1,036.17 pounds, 470 kilograms. This is easily the most obscure cat in the list, being known from fragmentary remains which have yet to be formally described. I should mention that the Pleistocene tiger is not a separate species, but rather the early version of the same tigers we see today. Tigers evolved somewhere in Asia about 2 million years ago, specifically to prey on the enormous diversity of large herbivores living on the continent at the time. 1. Saber-toothed tiger, the Smilodon. Perhaps one of the most famous prehistoric mammals and the best-known saber-toothed tiger, the Smilodon was more robustly built than any extant cat, with particularly well-developed forelimbs and exceptionally long upper canines. Its jaw had a bigger gape than that of modern cats, and its upper canines were slender and fragile, being adapted for precision killing. Smilodon populator from South America is perhaps the largest known felid, weighing 490 to 880 pounds, 220 to 400 kilograms on average, and reaching up to 1,102 pounds, 500 kilograms when fully grown. The coat pattern of Smilodon is unknown, but it has been artistically restored with plain or spotted patterns. It had a reduced lumbar region, high scapula, short tail and broad limbs, with relatively short feet. Smilodon is most famous for its relatively long canine teeth, which are the longest found in the saber-toothed cats, at about 11 inches, 28 centimeters long, in the largest species, S. populator. Smilodon is commonly known as the saber-toothed tiger, but in fact, it is not closely related to the modern tiger, Panthera tigris, or any other living cats. An apex predator, Smilodon primarily hunted large mammals.
That's all for today. Thank you so much for watching, and please don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell button.